You're losing customers and you don't even know. Hey, it's Gary, 3 times head of growth. Today I'm talking to you about the reasons your PLG customers are churning. There's 2 types of churn, voluntary churn and involuntary churn. Well, what is involuntary churn in PLG SaaS? Well, most of the time the customer is just out of business. For us, after scaling up to 1,000 plus customers, we had involuntary churn. The startup customers and the S&P customers that we serve, a lot of them, they just couldn't continue and they had to shut down. And other times it might be payment error, but usually that's just that they're going out of business as well. And when you try to message them, they kind of ghost you. It's getting to that point where it's time that they're going to shut down soon. And that's an alert that you need to present and report back. So stay on top of these involuntary churn reasons and report them back to the executives so that when churn does happen, the caveat here is when involuntary churn happens, so that the company can know what to do to recover that revenue. Well, what are the most common reasons for voluntary churn? Well, the common root causes of churn could be product dissatisfaction. There's a budget cut, switching to competitors. Well, we had these types of churn too, and budget cut is very common. When the product cannot produce the ROI back, when the solution that you're offering cannot provide that return on investment back, and you're not informing the buyer and educating them, sooner or later there will be a cutback of their budget and there will be a churn. And this is something that you can mitigate. But by the time you find out all these root causes, is it too late? I'm not talking about predicting churn. I'm talking about being proactive about reducing churn. So you should be conducting at-risk analysis and reporting updates on the health of your customers. And these common at-risk symptoms could be decreasing engagement, ghosting from your messages, loss of champion, poor customer feedback, a missing product experience, right? In this age of SaaS today, there's so many options, so many competitors. If your solution is falling behind, your product, your platform is not meeting expectation, it's easier now than ever to switch. And your competitor is right there, always on the lookout. So making sure that the voice of the customer is heard by aggregating the feedback with your customer success team or the folks at the front line. And of course, some of your product-led growth customers are at self-serve, so start reaching out to them and every now and then. And when you spot some of these low engagement symptoms, using tech touches as well, and aggregate those feedback, turn them into insights and initiatives that can be addressed. Product leaders and customer success leaders need to quantify that impact of at-risk customers so that some of these initiatives, you're actually saving and preserving revenue. And that means educating your customers with webinars and coaching, offering support hours, setting proper expectations, working with the product team on improving the product, building champions across the board with your customer. Churn happens, just don't let it be voluntary churn happening. Those are the ones that you can mitigate. Those are the ones you can control. And the way you can control that is you spot some of these trends and symptoms that are coming up and be proactive about it and aggregate some of those feedbacks and then take action with your customer success team and your product team. And then quantify these initiatives so that you can put more resources in it with your leadership team so that you can reduce churn and preserve revenue. Hey, follow me on growthwithgary.com or feel free to subscribe here to learn more about how to execute PLG, lead and operate and launch and be successful in SaaS.